Hey, it's Trader Tom, and today I'm giving you my top 5 Trader Joe's foods. The reason I'm doing this is because just about every time I hop on a live broadcast or anytime I post something on Facebook or YouTube, people are raving about Trader Joe's and always want to know which foods I get there. So even though this isn't a direct endorsement of Trader Joe's, I definitely like some of the food choices and it's definitely my go-to shopping. So here's the first one. The first one is going to be simple coconut oil. Okay, a lot of health benefits with coconut oil that I'll get to in just a second, but just recently Trader Joe's came out with a version of coconut oil that is in single serving packets, which makes it really easy when you're on the go. All right, why is coconut oil one of my staple Trader Joe's foods? Simply because it's something that's called a medium chain triglyceride. And since I live in ketosis most of the time, medium chain triglycerides are extremely critical. What exactly is a medium chain triglyceride? It's actually quite simple. It basically means that it's a fatty acid that your body doesn't have to send to the liver to process, meaning that your body can utilize it much faster for energy. It's also going to allow you to get into ketosis quite a bit faster. But the thing is coconut oil isn't 100% medium chain triglyceride. It's actually about 50% MCT. The other 50% is something that's called lauric acid. And although most sources will tell you that lauric acid is a medium chain triglyceride, it's technically a long chain fatty acid because it does have a level of metabolism that occurs at the liver's level. So that being said, you're still getting 50% of the benefit of MCTs, but you're getting another 50% of the benefit that comes from the antimicrobial properties of lauric acid. Now, what's interesting, a lot of people don't realize, is that MCTs are broken down into multiple different kinds of MCTs. And I'm going to give you 3 of the most prevalent MCTs when it comes to coconut oil. The first one is caproic. Okay, caproic acid is essentially what is converted into ketone bodies the fastest. It's readily used and it's used really quick. The next one is caprylic, and caprylic acid is a little bit more the antimicrobial version of an MCT. It helps a lot with gut balance and it helps out with overall just health and sense of well-being. Then we have what's called caproic, and caproic is utilized by the mitochondria much faster than most fatty acids when it comes down to generating ATP. So you sort of have the trifecta there. You have ketone bodies which give you energy, you have the antimicrobial benefit, and then you have the ATP regeneration which gives you energy and strength in the gym. And that, my friends, is why I bring coconut oil with me almost any time I travel. The next one that's on my Trader Tom's, Trader Joe's list is going to be cocoa. Now, whether it's going to be baking cocoa that's unsweetened or whether it's going to be unsweetened baking chocolate in the physical bar, you're still getting very similar benefits. The first one that I want to look at is simply the polyphenols. Okay, what those polyphenols are essentially prebiotic fibers. So they have a huge benefit when it comes to stimulating the process of good gut flora in your body. So you're always trying to get that good gut bacteria to flourish. Well, prebiotic fibers and the polyphenols in chocolate can definitely cause that, definitely help that out significantly more. Polyphenols and prebiotic fibers are going to make a lot more sense in how they help out the gut when I move on to my next item in just a second. But for now, another benefit of the chocolate. That one is theobromine. Okay, so a lot of people understand that caffeine gives them that high, right? It gives you that energy, it gives you that stimulant effect. And it does that because it blocks adenosine receptors, which means it's basically blocking giant fatigue molecules from entering your brain and making you tired. Theobromine does the same thing. It's basically a fatigue blaster. However, theobromine doesn't have as much of the jittery effect as caffeine. So you can still get kind of a mild stimulant effect without having the jitters and without having the major crash. The next one on my Trader Joe's list is going to be sauerkraut. But I'm not gonna lie, this isn't sauerkraut. This is pickled cauliflower. The reason is because sauerkraut is becoming more and more popular, probably because of my videos, and they were out of it at Trader Joe's. So I had to go with this route, but the premise is still the same. You see, it's fermented, and I'm gonna get to that in 1 second. When a fruit or a vegetable goes through a fermentation process, it starts to develop good bacteria. In this case, we're talking about lactobacillus and bifidobacterium. Okay, those are the 2 predominant bacteria sources. And when you hear bacteria at first, you think that can't be good. But the fact is, our immune system needs a level of stimulation. And with things like lactobacillus and bifidobacterium, we're giving our bodies what they need to actually grow the good bacteria that can fight off inflammation. So in particular, I'm talking about NK cells, which are known as natural killer cells. So these good bacteria can help increase those NK cells, which will fight off inflammation and are even shown to fight off cancer stem cells, which is huge. Additionally, the sauerkraut, any kind of fermented veggie or fermented food in general, is high on my list because you've seen my videos talking about a leaky gut before. Okay, a leaky gut is something that can be harnessed and handled if you get the right gut flora back in your body. So sauerkraut, again, giving you that overall goal of higher levels of good gut bacteria to combat the bad gut bacteria so that you can start to rebuild that intestinal lining so you don't have the inflammation that's crossing through into the bloodstream and crossing through into the blood-brain barrier. So there you have it. That's the reason why I'm going for those fermented foods from Trader Joe's. The next one I want to talk about, good old sardines. Okay, I don't think that every single one of you watching this video is going to go out and eat them, which is fine. That means there's more for me. Essentially, the reason that I like the sardines so much is because they are ridiculously high in omega-3 fatty acids. We're always looking at that balance of omega-6 and omega-3, and I believe if you look at this package, there's only 2 and 3 grams of omega-3 fatty acids right in there. Basically, those omega-3s are the Docosahexaenoic acid kind, the DHA kind, which means they're very, very good for your brain, very, very good for inflammation, and specifically good for inflammation within your brain. So there's a lot of other benefits when it comes to sardines too. It's super high in selenium, which is very good for supporting your thyroid, but it can also stimulate production of glutathione. Now, glutathione is one of these things that's really good for overall cell recovery. When you have a night of drinking, for instance, you're putting your liver through the ringer, you're putting your cells through the ringer. Well, your body naturally produces a lot of glutathione to start to replenish those cells, to start to revive them. So what if by consuming sardines, you can increase your body's production of glutathione to help you recover? That doesn't mean that you go eat a package of sardines after slamming a couple six-packs, but it does mean that you can at least help your cells recover, and in the long run, gonna help you out in every possible way. The last item on my Trader Tom's, Trader Joe's list is gonna be baby broccoli. Why? Because baby broccoli is much more potent than regular broccoli, but it also has quite a nuttier, more full-bodied taste. But when it comes down to health benefits, we're looking mainly at what are called glucosinolates. Those glucosinolates are extremely effective when it comes down to affecting your DNA, when it comes down to gene expression, everything that can potentially affect a cancer cell. That's a story for another day. I want to focus more on the hormone side. You see, the glucosinolates that are in baby broccoli and cruciferous vegetables in general create something in your body that is called indole-3 carbinol, that IC3. That IC3 has a huge effect on your hormone levels, especially estrogen. We have 2 different kinds of estrogen in the body. We've got 2-hydroxyestrogen, we've got 16-hydroxyestrogen. The indole-3 carbinol specifically works on the 16-hydroxyestrogen through something that is known as diindolylmethane. That diindolylmethane, also known as DIM, is known across the board to be a huge adaptogen, especially when it comes to sex hormones. So what am I saying? Sounds like I'm just rambling a bunch of terms because I am. Basically, broccoli is good for estrogen levels. It's gonna help you not retain as much water, it's gonna help the mood swings, and if you're a guy, it's gonna keep you from getting gynecomastia. So that's it. Those are the 5 tools that I get at Trader Joe's. The 5 tools to a healthy lifestyle, especially if you're trying to keep yourself in balance and trying to live an antioxidant-rich life. As always, keep it locked in here on my videos to keep your life in check and in balance between your business, between your family, and of course, your kitchen. I'll see you in the next video.